remember a time where you were asked to do a presentation or introduce yourself at a networking event and suddenly you got all tongue-tied and the words came out really choppy? This is a common problem for people who are not skilled or comfortable with public speaking, and it can be a huge issue, especially these days when many of us need to be on camera doing presentations as part of our work commitments. So if you get tongue-tied or start to stutter or stammer when you start to give a speech, don't panic. I've got you covered. In this video, I'm going to share with you 5 ways that you can increase your verbal fluency so those embarrassing situations won't happen again. Stay tuned. Q&A Tuesday, all your voice questions answered. Hi, I'm Elisa James, founder of the Voice of Confidence Public Speaker Training Program, and today we're talking about verbal fluency. So let's dive in. So hang on. What is verbal fluency exactly? According to the Encyclopedia of Clinical Neuropsychology, verbal fluency is a cognitive function that facilitates information retrieval from the memory. Yeah, sounds a bit complicated. Okay, in simple terms, it means the ability to find the right words at the right time. Verbal fluency is like a car. The more power in the engine of the car, the faster it accelerates. In the same way, the more verbally fluent you are, the faster your brain can access the right words when speaking. Some of the situations where we really need good verbal fluency are these: job interviews, auditions, press conferences, meetings, presentations, and even going on that scary first date. The higher your verbal fluency, the easier it is to translate your thoughts into words. So let's jump into 5 ways that you can improve this skill right now. Tip number 1, limit distractions around you. From a neurological standpoint, limited verbal fluency is created because of an increase in your cognitive load. In other words, how much mental activity you're using to call up the memories that you need. This is the main cognitive process that affects verbal fluency. The biggest problem is distractions. Distractions increase cognitive load on the brain, leaving less horsepower for verbal activities such as speaking. So if you want to speak with a clear, fluent, and calm voice, minimize all distractions that could throw you off your game. Turn the phone off, close the door, focus on your message, and avoid multitasking at the same time if you can help it. The bottom line is this: don't allow distractions to take up mental space. Tip number 2, control your emotions. When we get emotional, our verbal fluency decreases. Think of the last time someone criticized you or verbally abused you in some way. Most of us would get triggered and get quite upset or angry when this happens. We get so upset we can't think of the right thing to say in the right moment. Yet later on, when we've calmed down, suddenly we think of all these smart comebacks that would have been perfect for that situation, and you kick yourself for not being able to say it when you needed it. You see, negative emotions cause an increase in cognitive load, and that means less horsepower to use for speaking. This is one of the reasons I started meditation practice over 20 years ago, to learn how to have more control over my emotional state. There are some great free apps for this. Insight Timer is one, and Headspace is another. I recommend using ones with binaural beats and guided meditation with music if you have a hard time getting your mind to be quiet. The more you practice, the better you get, and the more calm and in control of your fluency you're going to become. I have some great techniques that you can use during stressful situations to help you calm down fast. So check out the other videos on my channel to help you with that. Tip number 3, rule out underlying conditions. Some medical or psychological conditions may adversely affect your verbal fluency, such as ADHD, depression, and anxiety. If you think you suffer from less than average verbal fluency, seek out some medical advice to rule those conditions out first. Many of these can be managed though with diet, counseling, meditation, and lifestyle changes. And in fact, I had all of those conditions myself for more than a decade, and at the time I thought I would have to medicate for life. After struggling for years with depression and anxiety, I found that I actually had more control than I'd realized when I implemented exercise, yoga, and meditation into my daily routine. The symptoms ended up completely disappearing. And I still do these things daily and weekly, and I notice that when I stop or get lazy with that commitment, I don't feel anywhere near as calm and confident as I do when I'm staying consistent with that practice. So try it. Tip number 4, know your topic. When speaking at a meeting or giving a presentation, one of the best things that keep your head cool and your body calm is preparation and knowledge. When you're knowledgeable about your subject, you'll be able to call up that information very quickly, as long as you're very well prepared and manage to stay calm. Patience, practice, and repetition is key. So practice speaking out your presentation as many times as possible so it becomes part of your muscle memory. Once something is in muscle memory, it stays there. Just like riding a bike, you can call up that information much more automatically no matter what is going on around you. Tip number 5, use beat gestures. This is a great tip for anyone that needs to give presentations for work. Start using beat gestures. Researchers have found that beat gestures, which are small rhythmic hand gestures used during speech, can help increase verbal fluency. I think this is because when we're expressing ourselves with our hands, we're giving those fear chemicals somewhere to go. And this prevents our body from freezing or wanting to run away. So use your hands and your body when you're speaking, because that will help you get out of fight or flight much faster. In essence, what we're talking about here is how much our brain is affected by our mental stress load. Use these 5 tips to help you improve how fluent and smoothly you speak in any given situation. Try them out today. If you need more help around breaking the pattern of anxiety or fear of public speaking, have a look at the rest of the videos on my channel. Some of those will help you get speaking with a confident and calm voice in no time. I hope you enjoyed the video today. I'll see you next time.